I deal with my opponents a little bit like I handle my love life. I make sure I leave a lasting impression. I don't care what kind of shape you're in, I'm gonna knock your teeth back out the other side of your head. You understand that? Because it's the best thing going today. Let's go, Buffalo. Better luck next time, loser.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Joining me is my main man, Mr. Mikey. Woo, brother. We got the dub, big dubs, 6 in a row. Man, it started off great. It started to get a little shaky there, and then we finished off the game, really good. We did a really good job considering the injuries, which,
Costly W. It was a costly W.
It was a costly W because we lost some key players, man. Bernard, we'll see what happens with him.
That's the biggest one we lost.
That is a huge Mikey, man. Linebacker this season has been a killer for us, man. We did, I don't know what else to say at this point, but I will say this. I thought AJ Klein did a very good job.
I thought Dorian Williams stepped up too.
Really man, well. Dorian Williams, and I text you.
Brings that lumber.
Now that's a tackle because sometimes we just don't tackle right. We don't wrap players up. Dorian Williams, when he gets you, he gets you. So yeah, he did a good job. But I thought Klein, though. I thought Klein filling in did a good job. Man, and even Dane Jackson, but man, I hope Benford is okay. I didn't hear anything about him. It was a knee. It usually doesn't sound too good. We'll see. Yeah. We are getting Russell Douglas. Hopefully, we are getting him back next week.
Yeah, I thought
so that's
Elam, good. Outside of the rough start on the first series, that he actually ended up having the big play. He played really well the rest of the game.
I thought he did too. I thought besides the pass interference, which was the first drive, he's grabby, but he did turn around and get the interception like a play later. Yeah. So,
but then after that, I noticed they started putting him one-on-one with Pickens, and he was playing bump and run, and he had Pickens all kinds of messed up. And then
he was. Yeah,
I thought he played really well after that initial series.
Yeah, he was playing physical, which is what he's known for. But yeah, maybe he has a chip on his shoulder because listen, it's a next man mentality for this team, next man up mentality. Unfortunately, I wish we had all our players healthy, but it is what it is. But yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised to see him out there initially. But yeah, like you said, I thought he settled in. I thought he settled in and started making plays there.
He was good in the run game. He was actually the 4th leading tackler on our team.
Yeah.
Only playing, a little bit over, 2.5 quarters, I think he played. And
Teron. I forgot about Teron too. That's a huge, hopefully
he'll
be
Teron, back. Did they diagnose him as out, or was he still being checked and did we not get it?
He never came back, so I don't know.
Well, he never came back, but we also, by the time he could have come back, we were already in the lead.
Yeah, I don't know. But either way, I mean, let's just hope that
Spectre went down with a back.
I feel bad for him. He's always getting some type of injuries, man. He hasn't even seen much action in getting injured.
Is that the Damian Harris?
Absolutely does, because think about a guy that really, and at least Damian Harris saw playing time or he got hurt. A Spectre is just really getting hurt in practice and stuff. So I don't know.
I love that positive spin on that. Elam needed to make that PI so his interception would be a touchback, not inside the 10. That's why he did it. Why he did it. Honestly, the PI, he did it because he got beat, and he wasn't giving up the touchdown.
Yeah, I'm good with that sometimes. Yeah, I'm good with that sometimes.
Just like, when on the PI that Dane got called against Miami to stop Tyreek from catching that. It was a good penalty.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, exactly. I don't mind I don't
know?
mind that. Yep.
You know, Shakir, man. Can we give some love to Khalil Shakir?
We've been on this channel since he was a rookie. If you're gonna be real here, we're not like just guys that are now just going, jumping on the Khalil Shakir bandwagon. We've been saying this guy needs more opportunities since day one. And I gotta say, I thought our offense ran pretty smooth without Gabe. I like Gabe Davis, but this goes to show you that I think Khalil Shakir, especially starting next season, once if Joe Brady remains our OC, Joe Brady gets his offense together, I'm hoping Khalil Shakir is more involved, like even more involved, because I think this guy could be a really, really good receiver in this league if given the opportunity. I mean, you see it, man. Yards after catch, man, his body control is unbelievable. He's not an easy tackle. Obviously, you guys saw what he did there with the key touchdown, which was the nail in the coffin. But man, he's a solid player, man. I just feel like once he gets more reps with Josh Allen, as Josh Allen starts to get that more and more trust with him I think they're going to be it's going to be a good combination, man.
I thought McDermott, once the backup started going in, played it very conservative today. No crazy unique blitzes. Like early on when he had all the normal guys, he was doing unique stuff. But once he started getting injuries, I thought he played it very conservative.
Oh, yeah. He definitely played it conservative on defense towards the end there. Now, he picked it up a little bit at the end, I thought. Once maybe he started trusting in his defense a little bit more there, which was good. But I got to say, where it all turned around in the negative way for us was the kick, the field goal, the block.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, for me, that's where it also, because really we make the field goal there. Yeah, you go up 24-0. Yep. Right. And then we're kicking off. They have to come, they would have to do a long drive.
Field and instead, so like the block, even the block, it went to like the other side of like the 30.
Dude,
like,
they had great field position. No. Well, because I think the field, like, the field, slick field kind of, and it just kind of just carried on. But it was nuts. And then, of course, Sam Martin is another guy.
Who came back and punted. He punted.
He did. But I'm curious how they monitor him this week.
He seemed fine. Once, though.
He only did once. You're right. Yeah, and he did a decent job on it. But yeah, that's something to monitor.
Time because he couldn't follow through.
Correct. He decent enough. Yeah, decent enough.
The fact that he could even do that was impressive. Yeah, that fumble. I don't know how they called that.
That was, let me tell you, that was bullshit. Okay, that was a fucking terrible call by the officials. They didn't even explain it. Like, at least say, hey, it hit off his helmet. He was out of bounds. Fine, but that's not what they said. So terrible call there.
That Knox drop was a killer too. It completely killed the drive. Knox drop, sack. End of. And then Josh checks it down and Murray
slipped.
Feet.
Yeah, slipped. But I will say this though, except for those kind of the Knox drop and the wacky little Murray slip there, I felt like our receivers were pretty sure-handed today for the most part.
Yeah. Outside of the Knox drop, everyone else was good. There was no
sure, pretty. Yeah, and he made a good catch, and obviously
was 21 of 30 for 203, 3 touchdowns. There was only 9 of his passes. Didn't hit target. So, and I thought there was a couple of really nice catches where Josh was just a bit off that they made great catches on.
Yeah. So. There's the box score, by the way.
Yeah. So 21-30, 203, 3 touchdowns. He did take 2 sacks. I like that Josh didn't put the ball in harm's way today at all. Not one throw put it in harm's way.
I like the rushing, by the way, too. I mean, man, James Cook, 18 carries. That's where you want to see him, right?
Yards. Yep.
Right, 79 yards. Josh Allen, 8 carries, 74. He was just a dog. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Ty Johnson, I think Ty Johnson needs to get more opportunities as well, man. I like him, man. I really do. I want him
between
good complimentary
8 and 12 carries.
Yeah. But I want his carries a little bit early on rather than late in the game. You know what I mean? Like I felt like they weren't running him late or early on. They ran him a little bit more later.
They threw a ton in the middle. Like they went away from the run, and then we got back on track when we started running the ball again.
Yeah. There's the receiving. 3 receptions. Kincaid led the way with 59 yards.
Diggs 7 for 52. I love the usage of Diggs today. He didn't have the big yardage, but they were playing over the top. Hardy, the 1 for 34. We need to find a way to get that guy the ball. He's explosive. He's explosive when he has. Yes, he just doesn't. He doesn't get the opportunity. Yep. Shakir 3 for 31 and the touchdown. Murray 2 for 13. Knox 1 for 9. Cook 4 for 5. Like that stupid swing pass just wasn't working.
Bro, it's so bad. It doesn't work for us.
Isabella was 0 for 1 and Johnson was 0 for 2. But I want to hit Spen's comment. What does Joe Brady need to do to solidify his job as OC? I think he's already done it. I think Joe Brady's back next year as our OC. We're going into the divisional round. We were left for dead. I think he's done everything he needed to do. And then I'll love to see what he does this offseason when he gets into the lab and add some of his stuff to it.
Yeah, I think he's proven that he can. And also the players seem to be trusting him as well. By the way, Isabella. I mean, the kick return was just terrible.
He fell down catching it. Like, why was he so far back?
I have no idea. Like, did he not realize it was?
Isabella is what Isabella is. He's a practice player.
Yeah, I get it. There's your defense there.
Yes, Spen. We'll get to the defense in a second. Spen, talking about the offense. When we had the middle open all day long, and we just did not attack it as much. We needed to attack it more, and we kept going to the flats, curls, and like Knox and Kincaid had the middle all day long,
all day.
We
go away from things in games that work early on, and we just abandon it. I don't know why. And this is not just a Joe Brady thing. This is a offensive coordinator problem throughout Buffalo's history here since McDermott. And I'm not saying it's McDermott's issue. I'm just saying they all seem to have these where something's working, they go away from it. I don't get it. It started with Dable and then obviously Dorsey and Brady's falling into the same category. He needs a. And also, too, with Joe Brady, the only thing I don't like, too, and he's falling into that as well, where it's let Josh do everything. Josh is everything, and he goes away from the run way too quick. Run was working early. Then he goes away from it. And then it's just Josh. It's like, bro, you have –
But he gets back to it.
But he gets back to
him and Dorsey.
He does, but I feel like sometimes he needs to get back to it a lot earlier than later. I get it. Like he got back to it in the fourth quarter, which helped. Yeah. As you saw that last drive, it started to connect, right? We were running the ball, passing the ball, running it. But he didn't do that all the third quarter.
No.
And a lot of the second quarter, even we went away from the run. It was more just Allen pass, or Allen run. He has to keep going with that running attack.
We had 26 carries between the backs. And he really went away from it in the middle of the game.
Correct.
I would have liked to see it closer to, 40-30, but it is what it is. He got back to it. We got the W,
Yeah, no doubt. Like at least he did understand we needed to run.
Yeah. I think the difference between Brady and Dorsey is Dorsey never got back to it. At least Brady gets back to it.
Well, neither did Dable. Dable also didn't get back to it.
Dable just ran Josh over.
Yeah, exactly. So, I understand. Like, at least he's understanding that.
Yeah, I want to hit on this one. What did you think about the second challenge call? I loved it. I loved how aggressive McDermott was today.
See, me too. You have to. But most of the time in his past, he would do the stupidest challenges, right? Yep. And either they weren't like necessary, even if we won them, or they were so obvious that it wasn't going to be overturned. What the hell were you thinking? I thought both challenges were well worth challenging, and I still don't understand why we didn't get the ball on that fumble. But it is what it is. But no, I don't mind it. It was a big play. It was like 25 yards, right? Or something like that. That was a big chunk play, and we would have had the ball back. So, which we didn't get either one. So.
Rob, Kelsey concerns me with our linebacker injuries, but really, if we're going to play a nickel, it doesn't concern me as much. It really depends on what the injury report looks like, but we'll jump in that on Friday.
Yeah, we'll see how.
Shakir is a yak machine. We need to get him the ball more. I really like 3 targets isn't enough for Shakir.
That's what I'm saying.
5, 6 targets.
Got to get him more involved, in my opinion, man.
I do agree with this too. I want to see playoff Lenny next week.
Yeah, Murray off for nothing tonight.
I understand why Lenny wasn't up today, because we needed Klein and we needed Isabella, whatever his name, Andy.
Isabella.
Because of injuries. And that's why we can only bring up 2 people from the practice squad. But maybe if Benford gets moved to IR, Lenny takes his spot, and then we don't have to use that as a call-up.
That is true. Yeah. Well, let's hope not, though. We need. I hope not, man.
I think he broke his ankle. It was in an air catch.
You're thinking Bernard.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said Benford.
No, I said Bernard.
No, I thought you said Benford. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, Bernard. If we move him to IR, we could possibly use, because we can call Klein up every week as the replacement. You know, we get Dotson back, we can use that roster spot for Lenny. Then we don't have to worry about that.
I thought Murray was used more in pass protection mode, which he did. By the way, he did pick up some good blitzes by Pittsburgh. I didn't notice that. That was one thing he did do well, Murray, tonight. But other than that, he offered nothing offensively.
Spin, are you talking about the 2 passes, the one off the running back's hands and then the one that was deep down that the safety got his hands on? Are those the 2 you're talking about? Because I think you had a better chance of that being a touchdown. Whatever. I think you had a better chance for a touchdown than you did an interception there.
He did get away with. I know he did he got away with one.
Are you talking about the one down the middle?
I gotta remember. There was one that he got away with, so he totally got away with it. They should.
There was one down the middle.
I can't remember in hand.
That the guy barely got his hand on. That was actually closer. Like he got a fingertip on it, and that's why he didn't.
Another one. I'm thinking the one. I don't know if it was the one where he jumped past it to Ty Johnson, and Ty Johnson couldn't get it. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, the one that went off his hands.
Yeah, but it was too high. It was.
He had to go over Hayward.
Yeah, he kind of had to jump it, so it wouldn't get tipped. But that was a danger. But that happens. That's not. I'm not even blaming Josh on that one. That was he had to do what he had to do to get the ball there.
Amy's finally home. Welcome home.
Welcome home.
You know what was crazy was how packed that place was with the snow in the stands.
Bro, did you see like the Steeler fan, like Bills and Steeler fans just shoveling the snow out of the seats?
Yeah, nuts, I liked how it didn't seem like there was a lot of animosity in the stands either. I liked that. Because there was
it seemed fine. There. Yeah, no, it didn't even get too chippy in the game either, like between the players. A little bit, but nothing crazy. I thought everybody was pretty good today as far as that.
Yeah, Rick, those guys that got hurt, it'll be interesting to see what it looks like this week. I'll be interested to see, if Dotson and Douglas come back, because I think that's part of it too. We were missing those 2 guys already going into the game, and then we lost a few more. Losing Bernard was the biggest one, I think. He's our middle linebacker.
Sorry.
I don't like that.
My bad.
What'd you do?
I got no.
Did you put music on? I'm hearing music.
Yeah. Just some background. Just real low.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's keep going. Mikey, Tommy are irritated with each other tonight. No.
Nah.
Tommy called him out. You called me out on the pregame?
I said, "Where the hell is my co-host now?" I was messing
with
you.
The pregame ain't my thing, dude. That's Tommy's show.
That's right.
When I pop into the pregame.
Oh, because I said you were probably watching other people's other people's podcasts.
Oh no.
Because I said, oh, I know what I said. I said, you're so sick of my voice. You're probably watching.
Not irritated Tommy at all. We text during the game. No, the pregame is not a thing that I do. That's a Tommy thing.
That's right.
But I'm here for the postgame.
He sometimes he pops in the chat.
Yeah, I'll pop in the chat. But it works. We haven't lost since Tommy started doing the postgame.
That is true.
Why would I pop in? I'm superstitious like that.
I am too, man. Hey, notice the jersey?
Yep.
Six straight games.
Yep. Is that the cemetery one?
That's the motor.
By the way, Motor's going to go into Baltimore and get the win. We're going to take care of business next week, and then Motor's coming to Buffalo for the AFC Championship.
That would be wild if that. Which, by the way, it wouldn't shock me. I mean, you never know. It's just
that's right.
It's football, man.
I was making voodoo dolls.
I was talking in I was saying in the pregame, Mikey, that because I was saying, because somebody said anything can happen. The Steelers. I think it was a Steeler fan or something. I said, look, you're right. You know what? Anything can happen because if you look at yesterday, I didn't think Dallas would lose to Green Bay, and I certainly didn't think Houston would tear up Cleveland. So
yeah,
anything can happen.
That Dallas game was wild yesterday, wasn't it?
Bro, there's no way that people thought Green Bay was like. I'm telling you, most people, and I think Dallas had won 16 straight home games, something like that. They had like a good home winning streak going, and they got spanked, man.
Dude, Jorge, I don't know if you watched last week against a depleted Dolphins defense. They struggled.
No, he still has it though, man.
He's good, but he? No,
listen. It ain't.
Is he gonna kill our defense? I'm not sure he's gonna kill our defense.
Yeah, no, he says ain't killing this defense.
There ain't. It'd be great, but there ain't no way Mahomes ain't killing this defense.
Always saying, oh wow. So I don't believe that. See, we played him well. We play him actually well. Now in the playoffs, different story. I will say that. Right in the playoffs, the Chiefs and Mahomes, they come alive. Right, they do play better in the playoffs. But we have played them well in the regular season. We've beaten them a few times, and their offense hasn't really been the same this season. I think it'll be a really tough game. Obviously Mahomes, Kelsey, are dynamic, but I don't think Mahomes is going to slice and dice this defense. I just don't see that happening. But they're going to get points, no doubt. And I think this is going to boil down to next week, and we'll get into it more on Friday. But this might be where the offense has to step up.
Would you call KC up? Beating Buffalo an upset? I don't think there is an upset here.
No,
I don't think no matter who wins, it would be considered an upset. These two teams are so evenly matched.
Yeah, exactly. Think about it. It's a 3 versus a 2.
Yeah,
it's not like
with the same record,
right? So the Chiefs are the defending Super Bowl champions, by the way. So you can't take that away from them, no matter how poorly their offense was this year, or not the typical Chiefs offense, let's say, because it wasn't that poor. They still put up points. But would it be upset? No, of course not. They're the defending Super Bowl champions until somebody beats them.
Man,
I think they are the best. Until they are the champions. They still hold that until somebody knocks them off. So no, I don't think that would be upset. I think if Buffalo beats Kansas City, I think that's a huge step for the Buffalo Bills in the right direction. Like that's getting the monkey off your back, right? We have yet to do it. We have yet to do it. So and I am curious what they think going into that game, who they got favored, because I'm gonna tell you right now, regardless of how Vegas sees it, I'm gonna tell you right now, it might be split, or it might be a lot of people going for Chiefs, or if they get the Chiefs are going to win. So I don't think it's crazy. I think this game's going to be a dogfight.
I think it's going to depend on what our defensive injuries look like. on where the betting's going to go this week.
That is true too. Yeah, great point. By the way, Von Miller almost got a sack today. Almost. He's so
Von Miller had a few really good pass rushes today.
He's so close, man. I feel so bad because I know he wants it, right? Like he wants that sack, and it's just he just can't get it.
If Martin is really that hurt and he can't go, call up Punt God.
No, you call Punt God. Listen, you absolutely do, and I don't think there's any bad blood there. He said that he understood what the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I think Brandon Bean. With him? We stayed in touch. Yeah, we've had people, personnel talk. Now, who could that be? It could be Bean. It could be McDermott. But I do believe that is the best punter available if you need to get one. He's been here. He knows the team. It's not like, he's just some random. You know what I mean, Mikey? Like he knows Bass as well. Like he's familiar with Tyler Bass, right? Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't be an issue with him holding the ball since him and Bass has worked together. He won the job. Let's be real. He won the job before we let him go. So if that happens, you absolutely call up his agent and give him an opportunity. And what a story, by the way. What a story would that would be.
Right.
If Matt Ariza comes back in the Chiefs game and we wind up beating the Chiefs and moving on with and all of these injuries, Matt Ariza, right, is one of the just the storyline of that. Yeah. It's crazy. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Sarasota reporting in.
Yo, what up, Sarasota? Thank you.
Sonny with the super chat. Thank you, Sonny.
Hey, Sonny, man. My man from Alaska. By the way, today, Mikey, I had somebody from the Philippines and somebody from Hawaii watching.
Yep.
So we are getting international, baby, on this channel.
Then we have UK
and Alaska.
Some others.
Oh, yeah, UK, yeah.
I think Khalil Shakir stamped himself as wide receiver 2 on this offense. Bring on the Chiefs, 3 down, 3 to go. Let's go Buffalo. Yeah. Here's the thing. Shakir reminds me is kind of taking over that Beasley role. Wide receiver 2, and you have to define how you're going to call what wide receiver 2 is. Is wide receiver 2 the guy who has the second most options, or the guy who plays outside next to Diggs? Because I define wide receiver 2 the guy who has the second most targets. And right now, I don't even think that's Shakir. I think that's Kincaid. It goes Diggs, Kincaid, then Shakir.
100%. Yeah. Well,
I think Shakir's
when Davis was there, it was Diggs, Davis, Shakir, Diggs, Davis.
Actually, it was Diggs,
Kincaid,
Kincaid, Davis.
Yeah, David, you're right, because it was slowly
Davis
turning
was 3.
at the. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. But I'm with you, man. Like I said, get Shakir more involved in that quick slants. His yards after catch is the best on the team, for sure. He needs to be more involved. Joe Brady has to see this now, right? No matter how new he is to this calling this offense, he has to start understanding that he is a playmaker, a guy that could make a 5-yard play into a 30-yard touchdown. You know what I mean?
Jorge's just like on one. Dude, you realize you won today, right? Jorge, you won. And we have no idea what it's going to look like next week. There's a chance our CB1 is back next week.
Yes.
And our CB2.
Is he a Chiefs fan?
No, Jorge is a Bills fan.
Okay, so listen, Jorge. Okay, Jorge, my buddy. You've been watching the Bills all year long. You understand the injuries we've had. We've done a very good job. Players that stepped into into that role, and look at our games, man. Other than the Philly game, we've gone against some good offenses, and those corners have done their job. You're forgetting, like Mikey said, Rasul Douglas should be back, and we expect him back next weekend. That's huge, right? He is our number 1. I don't think Benford will be back, but Kaiir Elam looked pretty good today. Dane Jackson did some Dane Jackson stuff today, but he also made some big plays. So
picked on a lot today.
Yeah, but he also made some big plays when they counted.
I loved his jam at the line on Pickens. I loved that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he got away with putting his hand on his.
He absolutely
hip,
did. He absolutely did. Yeah.
He also jammed him and threw the timing off.
He did. Yeah. So once again, like I said, man, I'm not overly concerned. I think the way the Chiefs' offense has been running, man, you're overthinking it. You're thinking of this high-powered Chiefs offense with Tyreek Hill and back 3 years ago, right? It's not what they are right now. That's not what they are
against that depleted Dolphins defense.
They absolutely were. So don't overthink it. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think that our offense is going to need to play better, no doubt about it. But it's going to be a good game. I don't see the Chiefs just working our defense, man. We don't get worked often, man. So that's something you know, just letting you know. You should know this. You watch Bills. You watch all season. We don't get worked much.
Everyone's getting rid of Elam after the PI, and then he picks it off. And then Elam played fantastic the rest of the game. Like
he absolutely did.
Elam was great today. Like he struggled coming out. He got that pick, got some confidence, and played his butt off.
He did.
Yeah.
I still think he needs work, but he actually played a lot better than the last time we saw him. How about that? And he got a pick.
Yeah, Grizzly Pickles him then says at least we get to play KC at home after going to
finally
3 years in a row.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and Elam nearly had a second pick and went through his hands.
He should have had that.
Yeah.
He should have had that pick. Like he just I think he was, like the announcer said, he was probably worried about getting his feet in rather than making a catch.
Yep. He absolutely was going around the guy trying to make sure his feet were in bounds. And
Instead of just
Rick said they gave us that call because they screwed up the fumble. And they screwed up the fumble bad too. Like,
no, that was terrible.
Because then we were without a challenge the rest of the game.
Yeah, that fucked us. You know, luckily there wasn't anything to challenge at the end, but
yeah. Super Bowl bust. That's why I'm pissed at these injuries.
I get it.
I'm pissed at the injuries too. But I'm not assuming that it's going to be Elam and Jackson next week. You know, Dotson may be back next week. You know, he was questionable this week and he practiced last week. You know, Benford was close to playing this.
Yeah.
Well, not Benford, but Rasul Douglas was close to playing this week. We have no idea what's going on with Benford. So there's a chance that we have our 1 and 2s next week.
Mm-hmm. Trust me, man. Like, I feel what you're coming. I understand where you're coming. I feel your pain. Like in a way, like I kept telling Mikey, man, like we just have the worst luck. Like we can't like just catch a break. It seems like, but you know, and then McGovern went down. Thank God he came back. Yeah, like
Edwards stepped in though and did.
He did. But we still, you know, we need man. Thank God we have depth at the O-line position, by the way. But yeah, and then Tehran goes out. You know, first was Benford, then who was after that? Then Bernard. I mean, it was just like, man. Oh, I even saw Micah Hyde limping at one point.
Yeah, and
he was fine, thank God, because he got his like knee kind of roll. Yeah. Oh my dude, I was like, well, no, just get through this game, man. Get a dub, get out of there, man.
I think the really bad one is probably going to be Bernard.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. I don't know what's going on with Spector. He could be back because there's a back injury.
It's a back.
I looked at the injury that Benford had, and I couldn't see what he did.
Fumble. I don't know either. He might have just tweaked his knee. We'll find out. Yeah. It could have been something like a Rasul Douglas type of injury.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so maybe he missed. Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe he misses a week. Let's knock on wood and hope. But yeah, you know, the other thing I was telling you was the only hopefully good news, not even good news, but hopefully for Bernard's sake, it's just a broken ankle. Mm-hmm. Because if that's the case, he can be back next year on time. Yeah. If it's an ACL injury, oh man, suffering it this late.
It looked like an ankle.
That's what they were saying. So if that's the case, yeah, he won't be back this playoffs, but that's good for him at least that it's not an ACL. He can return on time. You know, he'll be back way on time. So
I honestly, I think a lot of it has to do with the size of our linebackers. That's why they get hurt. We have tiny linebackers.
We do, including Milano. He's not the biggest.
Yeah. He's a former safety in college.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're small and fast. We don't have big linebackers
except for when we had 6'5"
and Dodson in there.
No, when we had
Tremaine
Edmonds, he was 6 foot what, 6'5".
He didn't miss a ton of games though.
No, he's a freaking beast.
Yeah,
he's a big guy.
Knox catches.
Maybe they address that next year. By the way, Mikey. Maybe no, I'm saying in the draft. Maybe they get a backup, bigger linebacker as far as depth goes.
Yeah, and Triggs, I wouldn't have looked his way again after that easy drop.
Oh,
I know
dude,
he came right off the field and inserted Kincaid, and then they went to Kincaid the rest of the time when they went to tight ends.
I
love Knox. Don't get me wrong. I do. I absolutely love him. I think there's a place for him on this team. We overpaid him at $14 million.
Absolutely,
but, that's a whole nother story. But Kincaid is tight end 1.
Absolutely. Just Knox is just not reliable, man. And I like him. Like you said, he's a good guy. He does come up with some big catches here and there, but he's not consistent. He's like Gabe Davis. Very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. Yeah. And you can't – those are drive killers, man. That was a first down. It went from a first down to a fucking sack the very next play to we're fucking punting. I mean, just like that, guys. I mean, it can't happen. You got to catch those passes, man. And it wasn't like, by the way, sometimes I say Allen throws it in there, he doesn't need to. That was a perfect pass. He had touch on that pass. It wasn't over, a missile. He just dropped it.
Yeah. Jorge comes in and says, love Romo calling out the Bills for not running to the 2 minute. Yeah, I didn't understand the back-to-back pass calls.
Odd.
Leading, end of half, we just seem to be, especially driving, it's always just odd.
It's clunky. It's very clunky, man.
Super clunky.
Yep.
Diggs was down for a while. That was
I
didn't understand what we were doing.
I wonder if he got the air knocked out of him because he seemed fine. I didn't see him limping or anything like that. It seemed more like it was a good hit. By the way, though, super cold. So any hits players took today, probably they felt more than your normal day. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of that. And it's, by the way, next week is going to be the same. You don't think the Chiefs are going to be coming out swinging, hitting hard?
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Yep. Triggs, is it me? Does the passing game look a lot better when Davis wasn't on the field? It absolutely looked better. I said that last week, and I thought it looked way better today. Joshua was 21 of 30. Didn't have a ton of yardage, but he didn't have to have a ton of yardage.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, no picks.
Did you see we knocked out 2 of their players too? They were getting hurt injuries too.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was cold and it was just odd. It was cold and odd.
Yeah,
it was just one of those games, and it's going to be cold and odd next week too.
There were some hard hits.
Listen,
I mean, that Dorian.
What the Steelers are.
They're a physical team. Very physical. I like Tomlin, man. He's so just chill, man.
I'm with you on that. It just the next series he got hurt. It sucks. The Bills 2-point favorite. That if we're a 2-point favorite, they give you 3 for being the home team. That tells you that it's an even matchup.
It's an even matchup, which is right.
Working sports though. I thought the passing game worked pretty well. There was 2 drives that I thought the passing game was a little bit off. Josh missed Diggs on a comeback open. Mm-hmm. He was a little bit off.
He did miss that one.
Yep. And then there was another one in the second half that he was just a little bit off on. The rest of it, I thought it worked fine. It worked really good.
I thought compared to last week versus the Dolphins, I thought our offensive line had one of their better games as far as pass protection. I thought Josh was pretty clean for the most part in the pocket. I thought run blocking was pretty decent today as well. They opened up some pretty good holes for Cook to run through today. So got to give a little props to the offensive line. I thought they did pretty well today.
Patricia's defense, granted, that was pre Tom Brady being gone. So I don't think Patricia's defense is all that great. What about you, Tommy? When Matt Patricia actually calling plays, I think it was a Bill Belichick defense, and
Yeah, no, he was just the guy. You know how that is.
Yeah.
He was like Andy Reid and what's his name? Like Andy Reid's calling majority of those plays. You know what I mean? Yeah. What's his name? I forget his name. Exactly.
Pat Shermer's Yeah. So I mean, look at how bad he was in Detroit, right? And then he went back and they didn't even let him touch the defense in
he was
last year.
terrible.
They made him an offensive guy. So
yeah,
then they send him over to he goes over to the Eagles and they hand him the play calling and they got worse with him calling plays. Yeah. So I'm not a Patricia guy. Like I think he was just a guy with a really good scheme that was headed by a defensive genius.
Yep, who might get a job in Dallas.
Gabe may be back next week. We'll see. You know, he is a Chiefs killer.
He is. And we will need all the help we can get because Andy Isabella's not going to do anything. Not going to do anything.
No. George Pickens is going to want to leave. Did you see him flipping out on the sidelines? He was pissed.
Oh, dude, he threw that helmet fucking hardcore, man.
Bucks have 3 points, drove down field on Philly. Okay, nice.
Okay. Philly has not looked good lately.
Josh needs to be back in the MVP talks. I think they've already voted for MVP, so, you know.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll win it. I think he should, you know, been more serious in the talks. They're just knocking him on his interceptions. Outside of his interceptions, he would absolutely probably have won it this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're knocking for the interceptions, even though the rest of them had a ton too. Buccaneers already up 3-0. Good for the Bucks.
Well, they're playing in Tampa, correct?
Yep.
Man, you know.
Yeah, Lamar's probably going to win it. Although he has some weak stats for MVP. He really does. Like Lamar won that MVP based off of 2 games at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because his defense really did most of the work.
Oh, they were phenomenal down the stretch, man, especially down the stretch.
Allen stats or MVP stats, they are. The difference is that everyone wants to knock him for his interceptions.
The turnovers in general.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to see Josh beat down the Ravens and Lamar too, because that means we're in the AFC title game.
Absolutely.
You know, that means we'll slay the Mahomes beast. You know, as a Lion fan, I was well aware of the trash his defense was. Yeah, you know,
Pickles knows.
You know, so Tommy, what do we got left for this week?
Yeah. So tomorrow. Nothing going on tomorrow. I'll probably do some videos for you guys regarding the game. But Wednesday at 10 p.m. is Mafia Talk, which will be back. They had a great first episode on last week. Mm-hmm. So they'll be back this Wednesday at 10 p.m. They're going to be talking, obviously, about this game, going over the Chiefs and Bills game. And then Thursday is Mafia Means Family Podcast at 7:30. And then me and you right back at it again. Friday at 8:30, we'll be previewing the Bills-Chiefs game as well. And then, I'll be doing a pregame. It's just like it every week, guys. We're just adding content, doing things here. But that's it.
Yep. Jorge, you realize we beat Mahomes, right? We beat him this year. But okay, you fan the way you need to fan, brother. You know. Yeah. I'm gonna enjoy this victory Tuesday.
Listen, and I will say this real quick before you move on. Jorge. A win's a win. All these teams right now are playoff teams, right? Would you have rather us lose and then be mad? I mean, I get it, and you should know by following us by now that me and Mikey keep it real no matter what. Win or lose, we're gonna say what we like, what we didn't like. Mm-hmm. This wasn't like, oh my God, we're not here going, oh, the Bills were fucking phenomenal tonight. Everything was great. You've been listening since we started the podcast. We told you what we didn't like, what we like. It wasn't pretty, but the end result is what you want, and that's the W. Now, of course, obviously, just like any playoffs or any sport, as you go on, it gets tougher. We know this. We understand this. The team understands this. So, don't be too upset. Be happy that the team's moved on. We've won, by the way, 6 in a row. Have they all been pretty 6 wins? No. But the point is we got them done. We got the job done. And now when we, go against Kansas City, if we beat Kansas City, it may not be pretty either. But you're going to be surely happy with the W. So you got to understand playoffs, man. Not every playoff game is going to be pretty, especially playoffs, man. Teams are giving it all they got, right? So Just saying.
You're the only one keeping it real.
Ain't nothing wrong. Yeah.
Hey, listen, at the end of the day, we don't even know who's going to be out there. So if you're telling me Benford is okay and Douglas is back, are you still as worried as you were? Dotson's back. So we're missing Bernard, right? Say we're missing Bernard and he's the only one we're missing. Are you are you still that worried about our defense? Because that's a possibility. Like to have that concern today and, that's fine. I mean, again, fan the way you need to fan, brother.
And I understand your worries, man, but we'll be all right, bro.
Yeah, Cam Lewis was not good today at all.
No, he was all over.
And the reason why Hamlin was in is because we were running that nickel and Cam Lewis was in the slot. So Hamlin,
he seemed lost at times, man.
Not having Rapp was a bigger issue today too.
Absolutely. And by the way, that's another guy that we probably will get back next week.
Yep.
We're hoping at least that the Cavs is not that, and that's a big addition. See, so you were talking about the injuries, right? And I'll go back and before you go to this comment, we had a lot of guys that weren't playing today that are going to be playing next week. So just throwing that out there, we didn't have our number one corner, which will be back next week. We didn't have Taylor Rapp, who's been a great addition and plays a big part of this defense as well.
Like 40% of the defensive plays.
Right. So I wouldn't overstress Kansas City. Okay. Now, they're a great team. They are. But it's going to be it's going to be a dogfight. I don't think they're going to just come to Buffalo and have their way with us. I disagree with you.
Funky Cheese, who is a Steelers fan, says, good game, Bills. Hopefully we meet again in the playoffs. My Steelers were fortunate to be playing in the playoffs. Here's the next time that both teams are fully healthy. Yeah.
Man.
You guys, a great game.
You guys did. You guys
same arc we did, didn't
right?
They?
Absolutely. You guys struggled early on, midway in the season. You were a little up and down, right? But then you got rolling at the end. You found your spark, and Rudolph. Which, by the way, Rudolph's not the answer for you guys. I think he's a good backup. From what I saw today, I was impressed for him as a backup. I wouldn't even mind him as a backup here, though he doesn't fit our system. But he's a sound backup. I would trust him if he had to come in a game or two. But yeah, exactly. So, but here's your dilemma: if Pickett gets beaten by Rudolph, then you got a problem because you're going to have to go and find yourself a quarterback because Rudolph's not it. So that's where I see your team next year. But listen, as long as you guys got Tomlin there.
You guys got a chance.
You got a fucking chance, bro.
You guys have a fantastic listen, that whole organization's top notch. There's a reason why Tomlin's never had a losing season. I understand the frustration because, as Bills fans, we get frustrated too when you don't go take it to the next step. But Tomlin's a fantastic coach. You have a really good front office. You guys will get back. You guys will come back. Getting rid of Canada was your biggest hurdle.
Oh, that was a smart. Finally, yep. He took too long to do that, I got to say. But, man, his demeanor on the sideline, no matter how the game's going, he is so calm, bro. He is. Yeah. I love it, man. He's been there, done that. I love his mentality as a head coach. That's why he's a future Hall of Fame.
I hope it rubs off on McDermott. Jason comes in and says Bernard ankle sprain. Just
okay.
So depending on what type of, if it's high, he could be done for the year.
Exactly. But that's still great. I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it because we need the guy moving forward.
Best case scenario.
It really is. Man. It really is. We'll take it, honestly, guys. That's great news, really. Honestly,
you're right. Chewy, hats off to AJ Klein, who balled out today. He led the team in tackles with 11. AJ Klein played his ass off coming off. He basically came off the street this week.
He did. You're right. He was chilling on his recliner. Wasn't expecting a call.
Thanks, brother.
And he filled in pretty good. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Funky Cheese.
Kirk Cousins available. Pittsburgh pay the money to get him on 3 years deal.
Hey,
I love Kirk.
You know what? That's not a bad. That's
so
really
solid.
not. That's
He's so
not a
solid.
bad. Yeah, that's not a bad pickup if Pittsburgh were to go that route.
Yeah.
And then you let Rudolph and Pickett fight for that, or you trade Pickett. You get something in return if you don't think he's gonna. Because why would you have him as a backup? If Crosby, if Rudolph can, you know what I mean? You get something, maybe another team will gamble like the Dolphins did with Rosen. You get something in return. Not a bad idea.
We're doing MRI on Bernard tomorrow. Okay. All right. Well, no more. It's probably high, so he probably will be done for the year.
Yeah. If he's in a cast like that, they must have thought it was serious enough to put him in a air cast.
Yep. Bill Starr, who's emerged as one of the top defenders, what believes ankle sprain. So MRIs were negative, so no break. MRI tomorrow. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. Who knows? Maybe he's one of those freaking natures. I thought Trevor Lawrence was done for the year twice, and he's still
that is true.
Next week.
Yeah, that is true. It looked terrible. It looked bad.
One of those guys. Yeah, done. Told you not to shit on Elam. Yeah, Elam played fantastic. I mean, he struggled on the first drive, and then he got that pick, and after that pick, he was solid the rest of the game.
I don't know if anyone shitted on Elam, by the way. I just think that he was in the doghouse for a long time, and I think you wouldn't have seen him unless there was injury. So I'm glad that he has a chip on his shoulder and he made some plays. Wow. But he struggled. I mean, it's okay to criticize
10-0 Tampa Bay.
Hey, I tell you, Philly has not looked good over the past month.
They have not.
Really, since playing us, I'll be honest with you. Since our game, that close game in Philly, they have not looked good.
Yeah. Thanks, Funky Cheese. Yeah. I enjoyed watching Allen today. Allen was fun to watch today.
My God.
I didn't have any, what the hell are you doing today?
I was like, is he going to slide anytime soon on that ride? And I'm like, I guess not. He's running past everybody here. Just continue on, my friend. That was a fucking man. That was a beast run, man. And
Waddle's receivers are a little bit different too. Like they may be able to tape him up and have him play earlier, because he doesn't have quite the cuts that everybody else has. Wide receiver. So it's different for every position's a little bit different. So yeah. All right, Tommy. I don't got nothing left for today. You got anything left?
No, that's it, man. Listen, guys, we appreciate every one of you guys once again for supporting us, showing us love. If you're new here, subscribe, please. It helps us out. Hit that like button as well. That helps with the YouTube algorithm. And just keep tuning in because we're trying to do bigger and better things here at the Mafia Sports Report. So once again, we love you guys. We appreciate everybody here in the chat. Bills Mafia, we love you. Yeah, we are out of here, man. Go Bills. Peace out.
God.